Hi everyone, I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about an incident that happened this weekend. Well, a couple incidents that happened this weekend that really kind of got my anxiety and my depression going. But it's not all bad. It's not bad. I will, I'm okay now. But it just reminds me how much I cannot wait to get out of this body, to not be in this shell anymore. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about getting rid of the fat. I'm ready to get rid of it all. um, I'm just getting tired. It's emotionally exhausting when you're this size. And I know that I brought it on myself. I know I caused it, but there is mental reasons. There is trauma reasons why I'm this big. And I wish people were more softer and gentle about that, but they're not. Well, a lot of people aren't. I shouldn't say not everybody. There's people that understand, but anyway, I hate that no matter where I go, I am reminded that I am heavy, that I'm fat, that I'm not quote unquote socially normal. And it gets exhausting when you're going to go somewhere and then you have to sit there. When I found out I was going somewhere, I spent the whole week just, I don't want to say dreading it because I really love being with my friends, but it's the whole week of just worrying and wondering, am I going to break the chairs? Are there going to be enough room? Am I going to be able to get around? And then when we go out to eat, where is it going to be? Am I going to break the chairs? Do they have chairs? I can't sit in booths. And what are people going to do? Am I going to get made? Because some people are freaking idiots and don't care nothing about making fun. For some reason, it seems like they think that I am free game, or people like me are free game to make fun of. Like it's just like we're less than human, that somehow we are beneath them, and it's okay for us to be their entertainment. And do you know how mentally exhausting that is, or mentally how much that hurts the person, the heart? But anyway, and unless you're one of those people that are very, very strong and strong-willed, I'm not there yet. I want to be, but I'm not there yet. But anyway, now, the first thing that happened, I don't want anybody to say anything negative about her because she's one of my closest friends, and the way she said it was, she realized when she said it was not how she wanted. But the bottom line is, it was the truth. But it's just the fact that I am so tired of having to be a worry or a concern for people because of my weight. Or I don't know how to put this because I don't like that I don't want to say singled out because it's not what she was doing, but the fact, I'll just tell you the story and you'll see what I mean. We were sitting there, we were meeting over at a friend's house. And anyway, we're waiting for one more person to show up before we went out to eat. But she had to go get pick her daughter up first from her job, and her daughter has a new dog. And luckily she's able to take him because she works at a like a dog place. And I want you to know I am not mad at her at all. Not it's more about me being mad at myself. But anyway, when she came back in with the dog looked at there's another guy, or a guy that was there he's our friend that came from out of town, and he's extremely tall, and he's, a really big bone type guy, so he's bigger, but it's more socially okay for a man to be bigger than it is for a woman. And I was there, and then there was Jason, who is very thin. He's not big at all, and he's like 145 pounds, 5'7", and I'm short though. But anyway, and the dog looks at this other guy and looks at me and starts barking, and without thinking, and she felt so bad, she goes, oh, she likes to bark at big things. And when she said and I said, yeah, I know I'm big. And the thing is, and she goes, oh my God, no. And she almost cried. And it's like, no, I'm not mad at you. The truth is the truth. I am big. And if she is afraid of big things, I can't change the facts right now. It's the truth. I know how she said it was a little harsh, and she felt so bad. And I'm not mad at her. My point is, I am so tired of, I don't want to say special circumstances, but that I am different from quote unquote normal society. And that is just the truth. I'm even actually bigger than, I am morbidly obese. I'm not just obese. I'm not just fat. I'm morbidly, and probably the extremely morbidly obese. And I hate that separates me, that it's the first thing that people see is and they can't help it. And I've even looked, I won't be lying to you if I didn't say when I looked at somebody and the first thing, if you know, it's like, oh wow, they're, and the same thing was they're skinny or they're good looking. You notice those type things first. It's natural, and I understand that. It's just mentally exhausting when you know that you're being thought of that way. Oh, you know, she's a big girl. You know, women are not supposed to be big. They're supposed to be tiny in this society. And I'm not saying being big is healthy, because it's not. But it would be nice that we weren't seen as freaks sometimes. But anyway, the big thing that got to me, and I'm going to probably cry here, and this video is probably going to be a little bit longer, but it is what it is. I just feel like I need to talk about it. And that way, if anybody else has gone through it or been through it, knowing they're not alone and that you can get through it, because I did. All right, I will. But, so we decided to go to a little Italian restaurant. And of course, you know, my worries. And I hate that I have to say, do they have tables? Do they have, you know, or do they have... I hate that I have to almost call out or bring attention to me being overweight, but I have to do it because I would be more embarrassing to go into a place and say that in front of them when there's other people around. I say in the safety of my friends. And I just cannot wait to be on the other side of this. But anyway, and they said yes, that's fine. They said it's not crowded like the other place was. It's got a little bit more room. It's a little bit small Italian place, but not huge. I mean, but it's not teeny tiny like the one place we went to, which was really good food, but it was so tiny that I was just so uncomfortable because people couldn't get around me. And that's the crap I'm tired of worrying about. But anyway, let me get to the story, then we'll talk about all that. So we get there, and I hate when places do this, but they're on a slope a little bit where you park. And that's a issue in itself because it takes all I can do to get out of the vehicle. Now I have to do extra because there's a little bit of a tilt. And then Jason, who I have for 27 years have tried to get him to think outside of just his body. And he doesn't do it on purpose. He doesn't have to think about it. It's not natural for him like it is for me. And he tries. He thinks there's a lot of room, but, and I love him that he doesn't see me like that, but I can't get out. And actually even the friend that's out of town, the tall guy, was with us, and he goes, yeah, but I can't get so he backs up and puts it in the thing so I can get out. First of all, that was just, I'm just so sick of having to deal with, I have to have special circumstances because of me. But anyway, we get him, and then there's like this little tiny step and then a bigger step to get up onto where you have to go into the place. It's like there's like 3 or 4 different I don't want to say tiny mall, but it's an outside type. We had different shops in it. There's like 3 of them. And so you had to step up and then step up again. And I do not have the strength in my legs. And I know I need to exercise them more. I already know that. I couldn't even step up like this much of a step. I can't do it without holding on to something. And where it was, there's nothing to hold on to. So I had to keep moving down until I found something I could grab, and yes, unfortunately, it was somebody's vehicle, and I'm sure they probably would have had a fit if they saw me doing it. I can't get up on my own. It's embarrassing. It's so traumatizing. And then when I get up on the next step, there was like a little thing there where I could get up, so that wasn't as bad, and it was fine. I went in, and we sat down, and we had such a good time. I forgot about everything, and I just allowed myself to enjoy the company, which was wonderful. And then when we were done, we got up to leave, and there was these 2 girls, and I didn't even know they were there, because this is how good of time we had, that were on the side here. We were like right here. They were over here apparently. And when I got up and started to walk out, they were laughing and giggling, and I saw the corner of my eye, they were pointing. And that's when it really just spiraled for me for a little bit. And I should have said something, and I need to get brave enough to start saying things and calling people out. I should not have to be, or anybody that's my size, or anybody that has any kind of disability, something that's not socially normal looking to people, that we're free game to be made fun of, that we should be your entertainment. It's like, you know, I'm still human. I still have feelings. And this is why it's so hard for me to go out in public, is because of idiots like that. And I should not, and I know this logically, but when you are already suffering with a mental illness, it doesn't care about logic, you know, and just being so not having the self-esteem that I know I should have, just being this big is exhausting, not just physically, but mentally. It's like, who are you to make fun of me? It's like, I don't understand why this, especially in this country, why, especially when this country is fat. It's more fat people than skinny people, but yet it's still a stigmatism and it's still free game to make fun of. We are still unprotected. And I understand that I caused this. That I don't have really a medical excuse. Yes, I was given steroids when I was younger to try to bring on my period when I was 16, and that caused, and they should have never done that, it caused a little bit of weight gain, but I'm responsible for gaining the most of the weight. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. And I understand that, but it doesn't mean that I deserve to be made fun of and then to be seen as less, well, pardon the pun, less than, that somehow I'm free game for your entertainment. So their enjoyment being out was to sit there and make fun of me. Now, am I maybe exaggerating in my head? I don't know, but that's the thoughts that go through my head, that, well, they're already laughing and pointing, so they must have been doing it before. And I'm wondering, okay, then how many other people came in and out and made fun of me when I didn't even, and it's like, I am so tired of being in this body. I'm sick of it, and I think, and I know I'm going to lose the weight. I don't doubt it for a second now, ever. It's the first time I've ever felt this way. The problem is I want it now. I'm tired of this. I want this gone, but I want it gone now, and I know it's going to take at least another year to be normally fat, but it's going to take me 2-3 years to be, and even then I'm going to have to deal with loose skin, and it was rough. And it's like, why do people have to, and it just brought me back to being bullied in school, and I think that's what it triggered a trauma response. It's like, I'm made fun of just for breathing, and it's like, when I was younger, people like that is what caused me to try to unalive myself once, and that's a whole different video that I'll tell at a different time. And it's like, why? I don't want this body anymore. It's like, I'm so tired. It's exhausting. It's exhausting just to move around and do things. It's exhausting to motivate myself. It's just, I'm sick of having mental illness. I mean, having the anxiety and depression. I'm sick of people being idiots and making fun of fat people. What about me being fat affects somebody else, especially a stranger's life? What do I do to them that it somehow it triggers them to hate me? What have I done? Other than, yes, I take up more space. I get that, but I was not taking up their space. What am I doing to them? It's already bad enough that I have to, everywhere I go, I have to worry about everything. And I know that people sometimes worry about, ooh, I hope that our chairs hold her. And they don't do it to be mean, but it's the truth. Because they don't want to see me fall and get hurt. I don't want to have to be targeted out and thought of as different because of this. And I am so, yeah, it was hard. And this is why I don't go out much. It's so hard to be out in public, not just because I'm worried about people making fun of me, but just the things that go with it. The worry about, am I going to fit? Am I going to do this? It's just natural things that people who've never had to deal with it ever have to think about. Never. It's exhausting. And it's just easier just to stay home. It's just easier. But then again, I know that's not healthy for me, but it's just easier. It's safer. And I wish I was brave enough, and I need to get brave enough about calling these people out, because they deserve to be called out. And I go online, and I will stick up for people who are making, when I see a bad, nasty comment about someone's weight or the way they look, I try to stick up for the person. But I don't do that for myself. Why? Why don't I do that? I should have turned to them and said, you have a problem. Are you finding my body, somehow a joke? Am I your entertainment? Am I not human? I mean, I guess I'm some kind of freak to you. Are you 10 years old? I want to put them on the spot. I want them to speak up, because I'm so tired of people saying, just ignore, just ignore, just ignore. Why? Why should we ignore, either online or in real life? Why should they get away with being assholes? Excuse my language. Why? Why should they get away with it? Why should there be no consequences? Do they realize what they do and say can have detrimental impact on somebody? I about unlived myself because of this garbage when I was 14. It's like, You have to have consequences. Would you? I can't even imagine saying something to somebody that will cause them to want to end their time here on earth. How could you live with yourself with that? All because you think that because I don't fit society's picture of normal. It's frustrating. I hate myself enough. I don't need other people reminding me how much I hate myself. And I know I shouldn't hate myself, and I'm working on that. But it's people like that that makes it really hard to love yourself when you know that people are not seeing you as normal. And this is why I'm so against fat acceptance. I'm not talking about fat acceptance like, okay, if they don't accept you being fat, they can make fun of you. No, I'm talking about it's not healthy to be this big. I completely understand that. But trouble is that people are out there making a fool of themselves, or hurting the rest of us who are just trying to live our lives. I'm not gonna go out here and picket saying, you know, stay fat, be happy type thing. I want you to be happy. But I know I'm not stupid. I know that, being overweight is unhealthy. And then say, well, then just lose the weight. I wish people would stop with that arrogant, uneducated, I don't even know what the right word is for attitude, and actually look outside of their own self and know that it's easier said than done, that there is so many emotional things that go with being overweight that cause you to be overweight. And there's some people that just absolutely refuse to believe that it's all about you being lazy and you not eating the way you're supposed to. It's so frustrating because technically they're right, but they don't put in the emotional part. You have to heal the emotional. I'm a strong believer you must work on your emotional side, or nothing's ever going to work. I'm living proof of that. For years I did just the diet crap where I just starved myself and I just was not happy with the foods I had to eat. It took a simple, and I wish I could remember which one I watched, and for me to try and realize I just needed more protein. And I'm not saying this, and as again, I'm just saying for myself. And I think if we would listen to our bodies, they tell us what we need. My body obviously needed more protein. And once I did that and I stayed in a calorie deficit, 90% of my food noise is gone. I do have my moments, I will not lie, that have creeped in, but I can keep them under control. It's the mental part now that I'm dealing with, and I am working hard on it, but it does not help when you go out in public and you have to deal with this. People say, who cares, just go out anyway. But when you do, 99% of the time this happens. And 100% of the time, you get stares. And I understand that's just natural. For those who stare at me and look away, whatever. We all look at things that are not, quote unquote, typical. I realize that my size is bigger than even a typical fat person. I get that. It's those who they have to keep staring, keep pointing to the partner so they will look at you, or they'll sit there and just, they're talking about you because they look at you and then they laugh and they giggle and they'll look away when you look. It's people like that. This is why I don't go out in public. But anyway, we went back to her house afterwards, and everybody felt so bad. But I don't want the pity party because of my weight, and I hate that it was drawn to that. And they were trying to be nice, and I get that. I just don't like that focus. I want to feel normal. I want to be treated normal, and they do. But I hate that I have to be a spectacle when I go out. So that's what happened this weekend. Just a big reminder that I know I need to keep plugging along, and I will. And I have no doubts I will lose this weight. My problem is I'm tired of being on this side. I'm tired. I just don't want to be. I don't want these struggles anymore, and that's why I know I need to keep working and working harder and work through the things I like. Getting more movement, more exercise, more water. I know all that, and it's just made me more determined. All right, guys, I know this is really long, and if you stuck through it all, thank you, thank you, thank you. And just know I know I'm not the only one going through this. We will get through it. I'm going to have my little stumbles, and this weekend was a stumble for the most part, but I'm proud of myself for bouncing back. No pun intended. Another habit that overweight people tend to have is they make fun of themselves before other people make fun of them. It's a bad habit. But anyway, I went back to them. We had a game night. We had a good time, and everything was fine from that point on. And I just told myself, I don't really care what they think. It's the matter that this is the things that I have to deal with daily, not just with people making fun of me, but just living in this body is not fun. But anyway, if you're going through it, we'll get through it. I'm here for you if you ever want to talk. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. Bye bye.